And in this particular video lecture, I'm going to be taking a look at the housing market equilibrium in the presence of a voucher system where people are given vouchers towards rental accommodations. This is for my public finance course, and it relates to the analytical issues in chapter 15. So in the short run, we are going to make the assumption that the supply of rental properties is inelastic, i.e. that it is a fixed quantity, and that is why our supply curve is vertical at that particular quantity. So in the short run, it's not easy to bring new apartments onto the market, to build new apartment complexes or to make other apartments available through renovation, etc. So in the short run, we are just assuming that it's fixed, that the quantity is a set amount of rental properties in a particular area. And in this short period of time, it's not going to be able to change by construction or renovations. So we have our demand curve here. This is before the vouchers. So if we institute vouchers, the demand is going to increase. It's going to shift to the right. And in the short run, it's going to increase the rent for an apartment after the vouchers are instituted because of the fact that people are given vouchers because they can't afford housing. They get the vouchers. Now they can afford to buy housing. So the demand, the number of people demanding apartments or houses or any type of rental accommodation in this particular market is going to increase. And since the supply is fixed in the short run, we see that the impact of this is just going to be an increase in rents. So in the short run, in this particular market, what we're going to end up seeing is that you're not going to have any change in the availability of rental accommodations. And the increase in demand, the sole impact of it is going to increase rents. Now realize that the vouchers is making the people who could not afford apartments better off. All right, you're subsidizing or you're actually decreasing the cost of rentals. If you, let's say you give somebody a voucher for $400 a month, that lowers their rental cost by $400 a month, and their demand is going to increase. So those people are going to be made better off, but the people in the rental market who are renting are going to be made worse off because this is going to force rental prices higher in the future. So these people are going to have to pay higher rents than they did previously. Now, if we contrast that to the long run, we're going to assume that the supply of rental accommodations is going to be more elastic. It's going to be relatively elastic. All right, so it's going to change with the change in the price. As prices go up or rents go up, the quantity of rental accommodations is going to increase as well. So here we have the equilibrium prior to or before the voucher system is instituted. We institute the voucher system. This causes, again, the demand curve to increase. And in the longer run, we see that there is an increase in the number of apartments that rentals that are available in this marketplace when the supply is elastic. And we see a very small increase in the rental prices after the voucher system has been instituted. So I want you to be aware of that there's a short run implication, and in general, the supply is not responsive in the short run, which means the voucher system that increases demand is going to dramatically, or I would say dramatically increase, but there's going to be an increase in rental costs for individuals. So we're making individuals who get the vouchers better off, but the individuals who are already renting are going to be made worse off through the fact that they have to pay higher rents. In the long run, if we assume that the supply of rentals is more responsive to changes in price, we will see that the impact of the price increase is much less, and we will see an increase in the available rental units in this particular market. But again, this is all dependent upon how responsive the supply of rental units is in this particular market. In this particular diagram, I'm showing that it's very, very responsive. This might not be the actual case. It might not be the actual case in every single market. So I want you to realize that there's a difference between the short run implication and the long run implication. And even in the long run, if we give a generous assumption about how responsive the supply of rental units is in a particular market, some individuals are still going to end up paying a higher price because of the increase in demand for those rental units.